just love sewing. Sewing is the best. Hi, welcome to this new video. I'm Noémie and come and make bags with me. Today is the 1st of May, so it's a bank holiday in Belgium, so I have the day to sew. It's a bit manic on my sewing table, I'm gonna show you now. I have my notebooks with everything I need and I have this much thread left in my bobbin and I'm like, you know, I'm not going to remove this. I'm just going to finish quickly the bra that I'm making first. Get that done this way. I don't need to remove the thread. I don't know. It's like, I know that finishing the bra is going to be more tiring than switching the thread, but I just don't want to remove it and then put it back on. So first gonna finish the bra. I don't think it's gonna take me that long. And then I have 2 bags I'm making today because I'm making one for me and one for my mom. This is a bit left over from Milo's raincoat and I'm planning to put it inside the bag as well. It's gonna be fully invisible. It's gonna be in the lining. Hopefully that it's gonna make the bag a little bit waterproof. I don't know if that's fully scientific and that it's fully how it works, but that's what I'm planning to do. So finishing a bra, cutting everything, that's what we're working with. Let's go. Okay, I've propped you literally on the sewing machine. So you're like, you know, leaning on the sewing machine. I just wanted to show you because yesterday I was listening to a podcast when they were talking about rulers and fancy rulers and tools to trace in sewing. And I just wanted to say, in case you don't have any fancy equipment, I use the ruler I got for school. I received this ruler when I was 6 for year 1. So literally I've had this ruler since forever. And this one, which I got a little bit later because I think at school they don't ask you to have this until a little bit later. But this one I literally have since I'm 6 years old. And this one, you know, saw me through all of my school career as well. And this is literally all I use. I never bought any fancy new ruler. And wait for it. Are you ready to see what I use as my French curve? It's an IKEA plate. I use that if I want to draw curves, but actually, to be honest, I often just draw it by hand and just wing it. But if I really want a nice curve, then I use my trusty IKEA plate and that works really well. So I never bought any cool new rulers. So, you know, if you were thinking that maybe you can't afford all of the fancy equipment and, you know, you feel like it's slowing your sewing down, it's not slowing your sewing down. You can totally make it work with this and this. You don't need anything fancier. Another very important tool for this sewing day, hydration. I also don't have the proper blue for this bag, but at this point, whatever. I have the right red for my mom's bag, but for my bag, I'll just make it work with this. At this point, I just want to get it done. Milo is just over all this. He's just looking like such a drama king. Milo. It's so hot. I've changed into my summer shorts. So exciting. I would really have loved to make the 2 bags kind of like assembly line style, but because I need different threads for them both, I don't think it makes sense to do each step for each. I think I'm gonna have to make one bag and then the other because otherwise it's not gonna work because of the thread issues. So a bit bummed because I really wanted to just like power through and do it, but it's fine. I think I'll still be fairly quick. It's currently 2:30. I've just finished my second bra. And obviously more about that in the bra video that's coming later. But yeah, getting going with the bags. So the situation is I have done the 2 straps here. I just need to sew them together. I almost said knit because I'm watching a knitting YouTuber and so I'm being confused with knitting. I have written down the instructions. This way it's easier to follow and I don't need to keep referring to the YouTube videos. So hopefully I can just follow this. I'm going to sew this first. This way I can get my little, how do you call this again? This way I can get these back because I will find it useful. The first step I want to do though, now that I have the blue thread on, is do a second line of top stitching. And I didn't realize when I was top stitching this originally, I thought, ooh, I'm doing my top stitching very close to the edge. This is so neat, I'm so fancy. But what it means is that actually the lining can get caught a little bit in because it's not far enough away. So I would like to do a second line of top stitching a bit further away to make sure that the lining stays out of the way. See here, it's very close to the zip teeth. And I just want to make it super easy to open and close this bag. So I'm going to start with doing a new line of top stitching here and then shut this and then start on bag number 1 and then bag number 2. And I'm really wondering how long that's going to take, but yeah, I'm going to see how much we can do. I do want to say, so if you remember the haul when I bought this is a Nerida Hansen fabric. And after just one wash, so you know, it was just pre-washing my fabric, I think you can tell that there's already a bit of almost like it's like really worn on the fabric. If you have seen the haul, I have also bought a ton of fabric to make a jumpsuit for my wife. And I just hope that the Nerida Hansen fabric is a good enough quality, because right now I'm like, oh, it looks worn. I hope it's gonna be fine in the bag. Honestly, I'm not too fussed about the bag, but the jumpsuit, the fabric was not very expensive, which I was obviously really excited about, but now I'm like, if it doesn't last, I'm gonna be really upset, because I make stuff to last and not to have them for just 2 wears. Okay, the family joke we have is that I always say I'm almost finished, and I feel like I'm almost finished, and I'll show you where I'm at. I have done one seam, so I have one side of my zipper, and I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm almost finished. And I know I'm not almost finished, but it's just like this moment where you can actually see what it's gonna look like, and I'm already bursting with happiness. I just love sewing. Really, sewing is the best, but if you're here, you know that already. I just wanted to share this moment with you. How pretty. Oh, and wait. Oh my God, isn't that happiness in a fabric? Yes, it is. You can definitely see the worn aspect that the fabric has after only one wash. It's a bit of a shame. I think it'll still make for a beautiful bag, but so you can see, you know, it doesn't feel great quality, to be honest. Like, I always wash my fabrics 30 degrees, I hang dry them and everything, and it's really suffered in its first wash. Everywhere there's a crease, there's a mark really. Otherwise, I just want to say, to avoid the issue I had with the first bag with the top stitching of the zipper, I have put my normal foot back on. This way I will have enough space between the zipper and the top stitching for the lining not to catch. I was really wondering if there was any point making this second video about the bags, because I was like, well, I already made a video about making this bag, so why would I make a second one? I have nothing to say. And I'm seeing, I'm just so rambly. I always have things to say, apparently. So enjoy a new video about more bags, because I can never stop talking. Like for the first bag, the only modification I'm making to the original Uniqlo bag and the video I'm following is that I'm adding a zipper pouch in one of the sides. So one of the sides is going to have the traditional pockets where you can just, you know, slide things in. I'll show you when it's done, and I'm having a zipper pocket on the other side. When I sew, I like to understand what I'm doing, and this point where I'm gonna stitch this together, then cut in the middle, flip it back inside, is really the moment where I'm always like, I feel like the long side is on the wrong side and I don't understand how it's gonna flip. I mean, I like to understand, and this is the moment in the sewing where I'm like, it's just magic, and you just have to trust it's going to work. And I don't like that. I like to understand what's happening, and that I don't fully understand. The tutorial I'm following says to top stitch the seam allowance to the inside fabric. I didn't do it last time, but my pocket didn't end up super neat, so I'm trying to follow this time, hoping it's going to be neater. Sewing is so relaxing. I didn't interface any of this, by the way, but because of this has some of the exterior fabric. So this is canvas, and I have the same inside the pocket. This is actually really thick and sturdy now, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of cotton. This cotton here is a little bit thinner, but not super thin either. For the bag I'm making for my mom's, this is going to be viscose, but actually it's doubled with the waterproof fabric, so it'll be fine as well. So yeah, so no interfacing, because this is already pretty sturdy, and even on this side there's going to be the added pocket here. So I find that it's just bulky enough and sturdy enough like it is. I have put interfacing in the strap. How lazy am I? Very lazy. I did switch to the pink thread for the top stitching, so I couldn't be bothered changing my bobbin, so it's blue on the other side, but who cares? It's fine on the front here. So what I'm gonna do this time is start from here, go around, and then start from here, go around, because last time I started here, and in the end my pocket ended up a bit wonky, because I don't know, everything moves a bit while you sew. So this time I'm gonna start from the middle there, and then middle there. Should make it straighter. So I have the pockets are placed, I have the bag like this, and I am currently sewing the bottom part. I still need to do the bottom part of the lining, and I have about 15 minutes before Milo and I are going to pick up my wife at the tram station. So I want to see if I can go and pick her up with my new bag. So 15 minutes to do the lining. Oh my God, what do I have to do? Attach the tabs on the lining, stitch the two bottoms together, attach the straps, and then do the bias binding inside. Maybe the inside's not going to be finished and I'll do the bias binding afterwards, but you know, can I go out with this bag in 15 minutes? Milo is clearly feeling the pressure of working against the clock. I started by sewing my two bottoms together, and what did I do? I put them right sides together because that's what I'm used to do, and so I had to unpick everything, and I'm re-sewing them wrong sides together. Oh my God, I'm so I feel disheveled, and I actually am disheveled. Okay, it's good to know that I look exactly how I feel. Oh my God, sewing everything together is not a piece of cake, but this is where we are. Normally when I'm gonna bag this out, it's gonna be a bag. Obviously, once I come back home, I'm gonna have to, so I have to leave in 3 minutes. When I come back home, I have to put some bias binding around all of this. But so, let's see if this worked. Turning around, there's a thread here. Nice! Oh, look at this! Nice. Well, this is coming with me. Okay, so, you know, you and I, we know that the binding isn't done inside and that I basically have raw edges all inside. But so, for Memo, I have this little zipper here. So, just to clarify, this, you're not touching the fabric that's here on the outside. It's an other piece of fabric that I've put inside. And then you have the little pockets, perfect to slip the poo bags in there. Okay, very pleased. Let me try it on, and then we need to go. Milo, we need to go. Milo, we need to go. We need to go and pick up mommy. Can you go and pick up mommy? Yeah, that's the magic word. Okay, we already assessed that I have a pattern problem and this bag is not going to help, but okay, that's so cool. It's so pretty. I'm gonna put all of my things in and we are going to the tram station. So nice. Oops, sewed over the zipper. I mean, tried to sew over the zipper because that obviously did not work. So it's 5 p.m. I've started my mom's bag and maybe it's time for a break because I've just broken a needle. Now I've sewn the lining too fast. I tried to skip the pressing because I was getting a bit lazy. And the thing is, I'm seeing my mom tomorrow, so I really wanted to make the bag now to give it to her tomorrow, but I'm going to see when is the next time I see her and maybe postpone the bag because I've already done a lot of sewing today, and you know when you're starting to just make more and more mistakes, and I also want to enjoy my sewing and not just suffer through it, so I'll see what I do. So I have only a tiny bit of the red thread left, but this is the only top stitching left I have to do this side, so I am hand winding a little bit of red thread on this so I can top stitch this, and then the rest I can do with another thread, but I need to decide how much I keep doing tonight or not. So despite saying I would take a break, I've kept going. I don't know why. You just see the end, and even though you know you should stop, you're not stopping. So I have the zipper in, and now I'm gonna sew the lining. And what I'm gonna do this time that I didn't do in my blue bag here, which means I'm gonna have to do it by hand, is sew a line here to sew the lining shut, because what's happened in my blue bag, if you go at the top of the zipper pouch, yep, it's not shut, so I'm gonna have to sew this by hand because now this part is impossible to get under the sewing machine. Silly, I knew about this. I did it correctly in the first blue bag. I think I'm gonna finish this pocket. I mean, this one I basically have to sew the top and the sides and it's finished, and then the pocket on the other side, and then I think I'll take a little break. Told you guys I had to stop sewing and now caught the main fabric into sewing the lining. This is where mistake happens. I really need to stop doing stupid things. a little bit random, but I went to shop and I just wanted to show you what I saw because I was in that store. I was looking for clothes hangers and socks, and this was so difficult to find. I don't understand why shopping can sometimes be so difficult. For the clothes hangers, I wanted to find those ones. I really like them. They're a bit like rope in the material, and so it means they're a little bit grippy and they don't let the clothes slide too much. They're also really thin, so they don't take too much space in my wardrobe. I think they're cute and pretty, so I wanted a couple more of those, and they didn't have them anymore in the store, so very upsetting because no, I don't know where I'm gonna find good clothes hangers. And then second, I was trying to find socks. And the store I was in first, I was like, oh, but like you need to buy socks per pair. If you pay like €5 or €4 for each pair of socks, I was like, it just feels like a lot of money. And normally in clothes, I always want to go for quality, but with socks, I find that, I don't know, it seems like such a big investment if you need so many pairs of socks. And so if you pay €4 per pair, I just felt like a bit too much for me. I just wanted to show that I saw those super cute pyjama shorts with little lobsters on them. The top that was going along with them, I wasn't such a big fan of, and I was really tempted to get a pair of shorts, but at the same time, I don't really buy ready to wear anymore. Ethically, I'm not a big fan, etc. But those shorts were really soft, they were really cute, and I just wanted to show them to you because it got me dreaming a little bit about, just being the type of person who can buy myself that type of little luxuries. I also find that pyjama shorts, it really feels like a luxury because it's just for yourself, it's just comfort clothes. It's not like, oh well, I needed to go to the office, I needed to look smart outside. It's really just for your own pleasure and your own comfort. So yes, I just wanted to show you those pyjama shorts. I also really wanted to show you those beautiful rainbow breakfast set mugs and bowls, and just obviously I feel like if you just bought one, it wouldn't give the full effect of like seeing the rainbow effect in the store, but it's quite pleasing to the eyes. I wanted to show you that. And then because I was not finding the clothes hangers, I was not finding socks, I was feeling a bit miserable, I saw those notebooks. And I don't know if you have this, but when I see a notebook, I think, oh my god, if I had this, I could write this and that, and I would process my thoughts, and I would, start to imagine everything that this notebook is going to bring me. In the end, I didn't buy them. I filmed them as a way to appreciate them officially and share with you how pretty I found those 2 notebooks, but I'm trying not to buy too many notebooks because I already have more than I can use. So just wanted to appreciate them officially in this video. But I did find socks. Quickly wanted to show you because socks is one of the last thing I actually buy new because I'm not making my own socks. I wear a lot of Stan Smith Adidas sneakers, so I do like that the top is just plain white. This way it's kind of neutral when you wear them. But then for yourself, you have little flowers on the top of your foot. How cute. So there's yellow flowers, then there's those beige socks with the little ribbing on them. There's blue flowers, beautiful, green with ribbing, and then the red flowers. So that was the flower one, and then I got a similar set with fruit. So those are apples and oranges. I don't know which fruit those are. Ribbing, lemons, isn't that happiness in a sock? Ribbing, and cherries. So yeah, again with the white top, so I feel like it's going to be super wearable. So it's not a brand that's super good quality, so I hope they're gonna last. I bought myself that many socks because actually we moved last summer, and when I got the summer wardrobe out just now, as you saw, the clothes are finally no longer behind me, but I was basically out of short socks. I don't know where all of my ankle length shorts have gone, but they just disappeared, so I decided to get a couple more pairs. So found those. I hope they're gonna last well. Both sets were €8 for 5 pairs, so a little bit cheaper than buying them pair per pair, but I hope that they're gonna last well enough. So that was my little haul, just a little parenthesis here. So it's a new day and I'm ready to sew. I have placed all of my little clips to hold the bias binding, and yeah, ready to sew this bias binding all around. I was missing a tiny bit of the pink fabric, so I have a tiny bit of the blue on the side, as you can see. I've also clipped my corners, but also zigzagged all around the part that is not under the bias binding so that nothing would fray in that upper corner. And the bias binding is all placed and it looks quite neat, I find. I had to re-figure out how to piece bias binding, and that was not so easy because for some reason my brain was really bugging on this, but we have made it. So let's sew the bias binding on the second side. So just to show you what was not working in my brain, I had not really remembered / realized that you have to fold it in a specific direction. If you fold it on a specific angle, it's going to fold towards the fabric. If you fold it with the angle in the other direction, it's gonna fold in the right direction. Oh my God, like I absolutely did not realize this before doing this bias binding. But I don't know if I had ever pieced bias binding or if it's just been a really long time ago, or I think in the past I've even done it straight because I was so lazy. So it was a discovery. The angle matters. Who knew? So I'm currently doing the lining for my mom's bag, and so I have my main fabric, my lining fabric that's visible, and then I have a second layer of lining which is from Milo's raincoat, and that's because I want her bag to be waterproof, or like as waterproof as possible, because she's going to use it for traveling, etc. And also I'm going to put this also in the attachment because I want to reinforce it. I think she's going to put a bit more weight in her bag than I would in mine. And let me show you. And so in my bag, I feel like this part here might be the weak point, where it's not really reinforced, and maybe if I were to put a lot of weight in my bag, maybe that would be the weak point. So I want this to be really, really sturdy on hers, which is why I reinforce it with the waxed fabric inside as well, to make sure that she can put her water bottle and everything she needs, and that the bag's going to hold on. So that's it, I've finished the bags. So this is the first one I've made in the first video. I'll put it in the cards here if you want to see that video. And just for memo, it has that beautiful flower lining. The little issues with this were a tiny bit of lining poking through, and if you have seen the first video you might remember, but I was having a whole construction thought about the fact that I didn't want bias binding in the inside. I wanted to have it simply bagged out and shut, and that created a whole construction issue, drama. It was much more complicated than it had to be. So for the next two, I actually followed the video I was originally following, and I made I'll show you here. And so I actually have a bias binding in the inside, and you know what? I think it looks pretty clean. I think it feels like it reinforces the seam quite a bit as well, because now all of the edges of the bag have this bias binding, so they feel extremely sturdy. This is my mom's bag. It was an order, and it looks very close to mine actually. It has this beautiful leopard fabric inside. This is a viscose from Atelier Brunet, and she asked for khaki, rust or dark red, so I made this burgundy bag for her. And this is the one I have made for myself. So they're not all for me, okay? This one I had made for me, but my wife stole it. It's now her dog walking bag. This one is mine, and this one is my mom's. So it's not like I made myself 3 bags. Calm down. So this one is mine with the flowers. Good, because as you know, I have an issue with too much patterns already. So now my bag can become a problem as well. So perfect. We needed even more issues with patterns in this wardrobe. And I have a beautiful bike lining, which I really, really like. So yeah, I'm quite excited by how pretty this bag is. I can't believe I tried so hard to bag it out and make it different than the video tutorial suggested, because really it's perfect the way it is. The only thing I did different is that I added in every single one of the bags a little zipper pouch on the side. So this is the difference. Otherwise, when I made this bag, I had just a tiny bit of burgundy thread left. So I actually started by the top stitching of the zipper here, because that really needed to be in burgundy, but the rest it's all actually a totally different color thread, but it's construction thread, so I don't think you can see it. Oh, the straps I've also done with the burgundy thread. Everything that's visible I've done in burgundy, and I don't think you can see it. Actually, there's one place where you can sneak. Can you see the one stitch in rust? I think you can. But otherwise it was fine. I made it do without buying a new spool of thread, so I was quite pleased with that. So now the question is it worth making this bag knowing that it's only 15 euros to buy? And I kind of try to think objectively about this. So originally I was like, well, if you make it yourself, you can have a pretty flower option, but they literally just to spite me, did a collaboration with Marimekko. And so they have actually those two versions with the flowers. So, you know, you can have now this bag with the flower version. Well, I have the extra zipper pouch inside that you don't have in the original. So for me, the cons are that it's quite a bulky project to make. I mean, I did break 2 needles. I didn't find it particularly enjoying in the last steps when you really have a lot of bulk to put underneath your machine. It's not like making, you know, a t-shirt or something that's really easy and simple. I don't know, I find it at some point that I was feeling like I was fighting my machine a little bit, and those parts weren't so enjoyable. So I was like, am I enjoying making this project? Is that a project that I enjoy making, or is that something that I'm just going to enjoy having afterwards? And I think it's more the case. Like I think I'm really happy to have them, to be able to give them. I think for my mom, she's going to be really happy to have it and know that it's made for me, even though Uniqlo actually does a dark red version of that bag, so she could have it store-bought and it would be almost the same. I don't have the sliders on mine, so I actually made her strap a little bit longer because she wanted hers a little bit longer. But you know, like the ones from Uniqlo are going to have the slider so you can adjust the strap. And mine, considering I had to buy an extra zipper, obviously, mine in material are barely cheaper. I think I'm at 10 euros, 11 euros worth of material, not counting the needles. And the thread, because for the bag where I had to buy a matching thread, that's another 4 euros just for the thread. So actually, if you needed to buy thread, then you have reached the same price because they're only 15 euros, the one from Uniqlo. So they're not really cheaper. I guess you can personalize them, and mine all have really nice lining, which you don't have in the Uniqlo bags. So one good point for the lining, and I would say still an important one. Obviously mine are fairly made by myself, so obviously I can control the fact that I don't support any fast fashion or anything I don't agree with ethically. I can have the bag everyone has without having to support fast fashion, so that's also quite nice. So yeah, altogether I'm happy I'm done. I'm happy I don't have to make more right now. I think I could make more in the future. I'm happy it's over for now, but I'm really happy with them. I think they're really cute, they're really practical to go and walk with the dog, they're amazing. I'm gonna really enjoy wearing it and I'm really gonna enjoy having it, so absolutely no regrets having made this bag. I think if you're just thinking money-wise, I'm not sure it's worth it, or at least it's not cheaper than buying it from Uniqlo, but making it yourself, you can customize the pockets however you like, you can customize the color, the lining, the length of the straps and everything. So I think that's still a little bit of an added something if you make it yourself. Milo and I, we hope that you had a nice time watching this video. We want to remind you that you can make anything, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!